Hiya. 1969 Stratocaster. These are really hard to find. We see probably 20 pre-CBS Strats for every 68, 69 Strat. It's really hard to find these. It's a rarity for one to come up for sale. They both have 4-bolt necks. There are some differences between the two. You'll notice the headstock shape. Also the neck shape. These 69 Strats are pretty rounded. We had this 69 Telecaster, and this 69 Tele, I hope you don't buy, because this is what we use to make amps sound good. It's been routed, so the price is down, but it too has this big rounded neck. 69 is an interesting time. In 66, Bob Dylan started touring with what was called the band. In 66, he got booed. He was called Judas because he started playing a Stratocaster instead of an acoustic guitar. He also got in a motorcycle accident. We didn't see Bob again until, I think it was 68. Paperback Writer was #1 song at some point in 66. And so was Frank Sinatra's Stranger in the Night, which knocked it out. In 66, that's the first year for the big headstock. In 66, Fender amps still had a black face. In 67, Aretha Franklin came out with Respect, which held on to the charts forever, and Motown was rocking. The Who played in the USA for the first time in 1967, and Jimi Hendrix played Hey Joe, released the single Hey Joe, his first single. Jimi Hendrix left the States in 66 and went to England, and Eric Clapton was said that his life changed when he saw Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was knocking around the circuits in 63, 64, but in 66 in New York, he was playing at Club Wah, and Keith Richards had said, go to England. And that's where they thought Hey Joe might be a single. So in 67, Hendrix was really a star and a phenomenon in England and hadn't broken through. Hey Joe got released late in 67. The Monterey Pop Festival happened in 67. Now the Monterey Jazz Festival has been going on since 58. The Monterey Pop Festival, which was an experiment, happened in 67. The Summer of Love happened in 67. Everybody went to Haight-Ashbury and they were anti-establishment. It went from the mop-top Beatles to long-hair hippies in just those 3 short years. Fender also made some changes in 67, 68. In 68, they started to going from a lacquer finish to a polyurethane finish. Also, what they did, which is important to all of us, is they started underwinding their pickups a little bit. They were worried about distortion. Up till Hendrix came along and invented electricity, as Muddy Waters said. Hendrix would take his amplifier and dime it, and then take his volume from here and run it for that. It created all this distortion. At this time, the big corporations were still trying to make jazz guitars and distortion-free, clean performance. And it was affected by their 60s Teles and Strats. In 67, Fender almost discontinued the Stratocaster for lack of sales. If you look at the cover of Fender's 68 catalog, there is no Stratocasters. They were selling acoustics, there was a banjo on the cover, they were selling amplifiers, and Telecasters were kind of king. Country music was king. In 1969, because the Monterey Jazz Festival was so huge, and Hendrix really busted out at the Monterey Pop Festival in 67. In 69, Hendrix dominated, and Woodstock came about, another time where Hendrix just totally blew the doors off. This is a Hendrix Era Strat. It's 100% original. It's an original 3-way, so to get that out-of-phase sound, you have to kind of balance it between. Now, you can improve that by fatiguing the spring in there if you want to, but you do have to kind of, it was the secret sound that guys didn't know about. Getting that in-between sound between the 2 pickups, which was out of phase. In 69, that's the first year Zeppelin came along. In 69 was Cream's farewell tour, but in 69 was really the year that Jimi Hendrix just changed everything, changed the electric guitar. And this is a Hendrix Era Stratocaster. Extremely hard for us to find. I know why, because they didn't ship many. Their 67s are really hard to find Strats. 68 Strats are also hard to find. 69 Strats with their big black logo, big headstock, but still 4-bolt neck, single string tree, and these staggered pickups. This is really kind of a definitive sound. It is that Hendrix sound, and you really hear it in the neck pickup of these things. It has that hollow sound that comes out. That's really a cool sound, and if you're a Hendrix fan, you put this guitar through a Marshall amplifier, or you hear the clean sound of this guitar, and it's just a fantastic guitar. 68 was a year they went to Silverface, but we have a 69 Princeton that we have a 69 Strat, we have a 69 Telecaster, and this was my little 69 chat between me and you. 69, here we go.